Hi, this is Hazel Marie and welcome to my craft room. Today I would like to share with you a project that I completed some time back, and it is a box that I altered, and I used lace and pearls and flowers and ribbon, a lot of different elements, and I want to share with you how this box was altered. When I purchased the box, which came either from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, they both sell them. It was decorated in the sense that it had a piece of paper like this top here. And that was not the kind of look that I wanted, so I decided I was going to alter it. But as you can see, I did not alter this part, and I did not alter the inside here, because this happened to come with a neutral color. And let's see if that will, okay, there's focus. It had some lavender on it. I thought, oh, that'll match perfectly. So I did not bother altering those particular areas. Now, the first thing that I did was select a paper that I wanted to put around my box on all sides. And the color I decided on was going to be lavender. Happens to be one of my favorite colors. And so I cut the paper, leaving enough to come up over the side so that I could just cut it here in the corners and turn it down on each side. Now, if you notice, if you look around, the papers are all the same. So that meant I did not have to do anything after I glued the paper down after wrapping it over the top. So that meant no extra work, that part. Now, whenever I got to the top part, I decided I wanted a different look. So I chose a different paper, and it is a lavender and white patterned paper. And so I adhered that to my top. I also adhered that here to my part that folds down. Your box may or may not have that, and that's okay. That just happens to be the way this box is. And, oh yeah, the bottom. I have the same color paper there, the lavender and white paper. Now, the next thing I did was I started adding lace. Now, my lace, I measured from the top to the bottom, and I cut my lace, and I wrapped my box all the way around, and my lace stops here. It does not go over the top, it stops. And so I went ahead and I put lace all the way around the sides. I put lace on the bottom. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I put it on the bottom. That's a pretty fancy bottom, okay? But I did not put it on the top. I decided I wanted that lavender and white paper to show. So I did not put my lace on the top. Now, the next thing that I did was I added a trim at the bottom and at the top. Now, this lace, as you can see, goes all the way around my box. If I lift this back, you can see all the way around. And then on the top, I put lace. It is a different lace. I could have used the same lace, but this was a lace that had a pearl trim on it. And then, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I put the same lace on the bottom. You're talking about a fancy box bottom. That's kind of hard to say if you say it real fast. So I had that The next thing that I did was I glued applique. Now this is a beautiful applique, and I got that particular applique from a wedding dress that I purchased at a resale shop. And that is the place that you can get beautiful appliques if you purchase a wedding gown. Also, just be on the lookout for used clothing that have appliques on them. Sometimes you purchase appliques. Just different places. You just have to look for them. But I cut up the wedding dress, and makes some people shudder, I know. But it wasn't a real expensive dress. You could tell by the way it was put together and how easily some of the embellishments came off of it. But I put it all the way around. Whoops, excuse me. I didn't mean to go that way. Let's see here. On the back and on the side, the same beautiful embellishment or applique is on each side. Now, the other thing that I did was I added pearls to the applique. Can't have too many pearls, you know. Whoops, I keep going to the front, and I don't want to go to the front, but I'm looking at everything reversed. So anyway, beautiful, beautiful pearls. Beautiful, beautiful pearls. Now, the reason I did not want to go to the front is because it's different. If you notice, this has a small piece of applique here. And this applique has pearls on it also. And the reason I didn't want to put a large applique on is because the top comes down, it folds over, and it would hide it. So I did not want to use that. Now, the next thing that I did was I added this beautiful trim here to the top. And it's sort of like a dangle trim. So beautiful. I love this lace. So pretty. And then I added an applique flower on either side. And then I added pearls again. Can't forget those pearls. And one of the things that I didn't say was that on this beautiful lace, I also added pearls. And can you see the pearls there? Yeah. Can't forget the pearls. After putting the appliques on and putting the pearls, what I did was I made a bow out of lavender ribbon. Of course, lavender, yes. And if you look closely, you will see that my cameo has a lavender background. Now, this is not an expensive cameo. It's not an heirloom. It is metal, but it came from the 99-cent store. Yes, you heard me right. 99-cent store, and it had a chain with it. Now, I don't know about your stores, but always check the cosmetic departments and look and see, because sometimes they will have bits and pieces of jewelry. Now, some of it is very cheaply made, and some of it, surprisingly, is pretty nice. As far as crafting goes, it's perfect for this. So I added that to the front of my box, and I just think it just gave it a beautiful look. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Okay, now the next thing that I did was work on the top. Now, I made the flowers. This one is made out of a lavender lace, and I gathered it, and then on top I put a silk flower and another kind of an organza kind of flower, and then I put a purple bead right there, or gem, and I mixed it with these beautiful purple sprays, and I glued all of that here in the corner, anchoring it down. Another thing that I did was I made a bigger flower over here. Let me move this in so you can see it. Over here in the corner, And I made it out of lace, and then another layer of lace, and then a third layer of lavender lace. This is kind of an ecru or a pale cream, and this is an off-white, and this right here is a lavender. And I glued those down. And then next I added these little silk flowers in lavender. And then I put a little bouquet of purple right here in the middle. And that all was glued down. And then I added a beautiful purple butterfly. Now this butterfly is made out of a pliable material that you can bend. I don't think you want to sit here and bend it back and forth, but you can bend it. You can make him stand up, which I did here. I glued it and stood it up. So that made this particular section. Now, the next thing I did was I added these pearl sprays or embellishments that you get in a package, and they come all swirly and beautiful. And what you do is you take them out and you place them where you want them to go. Now, I have a problem with mine. Mine doesn't want to stay stuck because they are self-adhesive, but I'm going to go back and I'm just going to add some glue to that. After I got through doing this, I added this beautiful matching butterfly here on this side, and he's kind of standing up. And that was the great thing you could do with this. You could kind of bend him how you wanted him. His little antennae, of course, move, and you can arrange those however you want those to be. But his little wings also are bendable. So that's how I completed the final step in completing our box. Is to add, let me turn it, let's see, I'm the opposite way, is to add the feet. Now these are metal, and I bought them at Hobby Lobby, and they glue directly onto the box. As you can see, they curve around the corner, so they're great for putting on square boxes. You probably could also put them on round boxes. I've never tried that. You'd have to look at it and see. But as you can see, I have put them on all the way around. So the box does not sit directly on the surface. It sits on its own little feet. And to me, that is just a fantastic way to finish off your project. It gives it like kind of like the tiara on the top or the cherry on the top. Love it. Now, this particular box, to me, is a wonderful addition to your craft room. If you want to store maybe some of your treasures, or your really, maybe you do have some expensive laces, maybe you have some antique jewelry, maybe you have something that you don't necessarily want out. It could be your cards that you receive from your subbies. Oh my goodness, the list is endless that you would want to put in here. Maybe it's something your child does for you, some kind of artwork that you want to put in here. But anyway, I call it kind of a treasure box because everything that goes in is a treasure. This box was easy to make. It didn't take a long time. I think that anyone who is just starting in crafting could do this. An experienced crafter can do this. It just take your time and put some thought into it before you start. You want to make sure that you have enough materials to complete your project. You don't want to run out. You want to make sure you have both of your flowers ready. You want to make sure you have your appliques, all three of those, if you're using appliques, of course. But I like to kind of gather my stuff together, and I like to have it at my hand, ready to apply it. I like to decide what I'm going to do before I start the project. That happens to be the way that I do it. You may do it differently. One of the things that I did want to tell you is that the way that this box closes. And let me see, I can get it up here so it's a little bit easier. Can you see that piece of Velcro right here? And if you look down here, there's the opposite side. And when I attached mine, I found that the lace, because it wasn't stuck on like the paper, that I had kind of a wiggle motion there, and it would kind of stick out a little bit. So what I did was I took a brad, and I put a brad through there, and that took up the excess amount of moving back and forth here, and adhered this directly to the box, so that when I take this and I close it, see, it works. You could also use a magnet if you want to, but that's how I chose to do mine. Make your box yours, make it personal, make it beautiful. Hey, if you don't like shabby chic and you like, oh, let's say steampunk, hey, there's a million things you could do with this, because I'm going to show you what I did with a special box when I made it into a steampunk box. So I hope you'll try it. I hope that you will like it below and leave your comments. And just know that I love you guys, and I thank you. Bye.